It's time now for the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show. Got a great crowd here at Marisol. We appreciate you joining us here tonight as we're going to talk about LaGrange College football. And Coach, one game left on the schedule. This past week, y'all traveled a pretty long trip up to North Carolina Wesleyan, up at Rocky Mount. Had a great first half. I had a chance to listen to a lot of that, and things were going well, but the second half not so good, and we come away with a loss, 49-23. But still one more game to go in the season.
Yeah, I thought we played really well in the first half, and I was proud of the guys for that. And, our talk at halftime was just keep doing what we were doing because we were really having some good drives on offense. Defense was, getting them stopped, bending and not breaking. And, we had an opportunity right before the half, and we went down and we scored. And that was a big accomplishment for us, unlike this season where we haven't done that and we've allowed the other team to score.
End of halves have been difficult, yep.
End of halves have been difficult, and we've talked about it, and we talked about it last week. And we put them in position to end up scoring right before the half too. Mm-hmm. And so that I think, it made the game closer than what it should have been at halftime. We should have been 23-14.
Right.
And I think the scope would have been a little bit more different. But regardless to say, we executed pretty well in the first half, and then in the second half, we just didn't take care of business.
Just that first half of play, Connor Blair had two different touchdown passes, one to Marcellus Jackson for 30 yards, Keontae Button, who's really come on strong, I think, for you this season. I think he's been a showcase kid for you, 28-yard pass reception for him, and even a scoop and score. Rodney Simon had that on defense, so you were scoring in lots of different ways, but that late touchdown kind of put you closer than you wanted to be, and the second half was just a rough time.
Yeah, there was a lot of highlights in the first half, and for Rodney to make a tremendous play, got loose off the tackle and swiped the ball out of the quarterback's hands, and then not only did that, picked it up and ran and scored with it. So that was, it was really great to see a young guy in Rodney Simon who's only a sophomore to do something like that and know that, he's got 2 more years to really get himself ready and be a dominant factor on our defense.
But I think we're going to keep him out of the gymnastics program, so no more flips into the end zone.
Yeah, he kind of finished it with a head over heels, somersault into the end zone, and of course the referees don't take, too fondly to that, and so they flagged us, and it put NC Wesleyan back in a situation where they were midfield to start the next drive.
But couldn't make it last a whole race.
Well, we're going to go and take a break. We'll talk. We got lots to talk about. We're going to talk about our seniors and highlight all of them tonight. But right now, you're listening to the Coach Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show live from Marisol on Eagle Sports.
When you choose a dentist, you want to know that you made the right decision. So where do you start? Go to BellDentalCenter.com. That's the right way to begin to know Dr. Bell and his staff. And then drop in at 106 Corporate Plaza Drive in LaGrange and visit with the staff. And you'll know that this is the right place for you and your family. Bell Dental Center offers comprehensive dentistry with an emphasis on aesthetics, restorative treatments, mini dental implants, root canal therapy, sedation dentistry, as well as Botox and Juvederm treatments. Bell Dental Center. Visit their website at BellDentalCenter.com.
Mention LaGrange College and the word 1 pops up a lot. Like the student-faculty ratio is 11-1. That means plenty of one-on-one time with professors. Our students work for number 1 companies, earn Emmy and Grammy nominations, and they give back to their communities, which is wonderful. We are LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions. One visit, and you'll see why. LaGrange.edu/journey.
Calling all area coaches, high school coaches, travel ball coaches, and more. Mud Creek Team Sales is now selling sporting goods like Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell for travel teams, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and more. For more information, call Mud Creek Team Sales today at 706-884-5592. Call Coach Jeter or Greg Hicks. Calling all area coaches. Mud Creek Team Sales with all your sporting goods. Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell. Mud Creek Team Sales, a proud sponsor of today's game.
Now back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Welcome back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show live here from Marisol. Coach, let's just take a moment before we kind of talk about some of the things to talk about Marisol and how great they've been all season long as a host for us.
Yeah, they've done a great job here. My hat's off to Chase again, like always, and I tell you what, it's 2 weeks in a row I've had the ribs.
I almost went there, but I said, no, I'm going to – I made the mistake. I thought I was ordering the trout a couple of weeks ago and ordered the salmon. And I was like, this doesn't taste the same. And I realized I completely ordered a different fish.
Two different fish, yeah.
They're very, very different. But I've never had a bad meal here. It's always been great, and I great appreciate to them and the folks that take care of us as well.
No, and it was really nice of Chase and them to open their doors to us this year and allow us to come in here for the first year. And hopefully we can continue this into the future. But it's been a great environment, and we do appreciate their support.
Yep. And, of course, we appreciate Coleman and WLAG and also Eagle Broadcasting for the way that they support the program as well and get all the other sponsors connected with us. But, Coach, each week we select a player of the game from the defense, the offense, and the special teams. And tonight, as we're kind of drawing the season to a close, we've got one more game left, those seniors will be recognized in the last game of the season coming up on Saturday at 1 o'clock at Callaway Stadium. But let's do some of that tonight. Let's recognize some of those guys tonight. And as a former defensive guy, I'd love to start defense toninight if we can. Well, you're an offensive guy, but let's start defense tonight.
Yeah, and so, again, we appreciate our sponsors in BSN, who sponsored the defensive player spot of the week. Obviously Hutchinson Trailer for being the special teams spot, and then also Kemp's Carpet for doing the offensive side. So, what I decided to do this week was make all of our defensive captains, the BSN guys.
Right.
And, before I get involved in what each one of these guys, this is a big class to me, and this is a very emotional class for me because this is the first class of guys that I came in with.
Right.
And so we all got to go through that first season and the trials and tribulations that we had, and then, me taking over as head coach. And all of these guys have stayed committed to what we're trying to do here at LaGrange College and with the football program and move it, forward in the right direction. So, with all 17 of these guys, my hat's off to them for just really sticking it out and being there and really trying to grow this thing in the way we're going.
They're also, all of these guys we're going to talk about are scholar athletes. I mean, they're guys that are there for the degree. They enjoy the football. They want to continue their career, but really it's that degree that they're going to be pursuing.
Yeah, like we said in past shows, they're really playing for the love of the game. They pay a lot of money to go to school here, and it's a great school and it's a great education, and so they're all about to walk out of here with great degrees, and hopefully we'll go and do great things in the real world.
College sometimes doesn't feel real, but let's start off with defense.
Yeah, so on the defensive side, the first young man I'm going to talk about is Darius Jordan. And Darius is one of these guys that has done everything that I've asked of him from day one. He started out on the offensive side of the ball, was a receiver for first year. And, he came over and he was like, hey, Coach, I think we need help on the defensive side. Can I go over and play corner? And, we were like, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. And we definitely did that. And so Darius was one of those guys that jumped on to the defensive side when Coach Chambers first came in after that year and has really thrived at corner.
Yes,
and has done a successful job. He's been a captain for us. And the other thing about Darius is he was a servant scholar, so he does a tremendous amount of stuff in our community. He spends each semester, I think it's around 50 to 60 hours doing community service. So, Darius is going to be a guy that's definitely missed, but, I'm really proud of where he's come.
Really impressed with him, the way he seems to find contact. He's always in on every play, it seems like, every time the ball snaps.
Yeah, he can move around, and he made a big play in this past game. He had an interception in the end zone when they were going in to score, and he took it away from him, so that was a big deal.
All right, moving on.
Okay, the next one is our safety, and again, kind of like Darius, Jordan Daniels has been asked to do a lot for us. He started out at corner his freshman year and moved to safety, and so he's kind of been one of the guys back there that has, kind of been the communicator and leader of the secondary, and Jordan's done a great job, and we've asked a lot of them, and when I talk about all these seniors, what people probably don't realize is most of these guys have started for 4 years. So they came in, right off the high school bus into college, and boom, they started playing. So, Jordan's been great.
Well, and also something I think people don't realize is, and especially in Division III football, there's so much passing of the ball. These guys they have so many demands on them every time the ball snapped.
Yeah, they do. It's a lot of work back there, and there's a lot of great offenses in this conference. For those people out there, we're ranked up there high in offense, and then Huntington's number one in the nation in total offense, and Maryville's up in the top 10. So you got you got two guys that we go against defensively in this conference that are the best in the United States as far as Division III is concerned. Moving on to the other safety is Brandon Penn. Brandon Penn's been an all-conference selection for us the last year, And Brandon, again, another 4-year starter, has done a great job back there. Brandon's a fun guy to be around. He's very excitable, has a lot of energy. And hats off to Brandon for the way he's handled his college career. He's gone 4 years here, and he's got a little girlfriend back in Jacksonville that had their first kid 2 years ago, and then they just had a new baby boy this fall. So, Brandon needs to finish off and get that degree and go to work.
Yeah.
Because he's got a couple of hungry mouths to feed back in Jacksonville.
Well, I tell you also, Brandon, another thing that's amazing about him, I'd love to get a highlight reel of the big hits of Brandon Penn over the time he's been in school, because it seems like some of the biggest hits I can remember the past 4 years have come from him.
Yeah, Brandon can light you up, and it's a little bit almost to his fault that he looks to hit hard before he looks to actually get his eyes up and pick a ball off. So we've kind of, we've told him the last years, we're like, if you would just look up a little more, you'd probably get more interceptions, but that's just not his style.
Nope.
Okay, moving on is Marcus Valentine, another guy that we shoulder with a lot of responsibility. He started out in the secondary, and then Coach Chambers moved him to outside linebacker this year, and did a decent job for us until he had suffered a real bad ankle injury midseason, and so he's a guy that we haven't been able to play with for 4 or 5 games, and so we've definitely missed him in the lineup. Moving on to our Mike linebacker, who's, the guy that's going to get the fronts, dialed up right and does a good job for Coach Chambers.
Who can't keep a helmet on, though.
Yeah, Blair Lampkin. I don't know. It's those guys with really big heads that can't keep our helmets on. I don't know what the deal is. But, Blair's another one that, came to us as an offensive fullback and realized that, in our air raid system, we don't really have a place for a fullback. And so he flipped over to defense, and he just said, Coach, just give me a chance. I will fight and claw and do whatever it takes to play. And to be honest, he's one of these guys that you look at and you go, man, there's no way that guy's going to play for us. And here he is. He's played 3 years at the spot, and he's really done a good job.
He's a great leader on the field as well.
The last one on the defensive side is a special young man. And I say young, he's not really the youngest on the team at 27 years old. His name is Devon Green Range, and Devon is a guy that I met right after my first year, and he was a military guy. He served in the military and had done that route out of high school, and was just a guy that wanted to play football. And so I said, hey, I honor all our men and women that fight in this, our services for us. And I said, yeah, we would love to have you come out. Right. And never really thought. My mind never really thought too much about him actually being a player for us, and he really has. In the last 2 years, he's actually played at corner for us, and, I know everybody kind of, like, man, do you really have a 27-year-old on your football team? I'm like, yeah, but he's done a good job, and he, and that was his dream, was to play college football, and he got that opportunity.
That's awesome. Of course, we have Veterans Day coming up this Friday. Neat that we were kind of able to spotlight him as well. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the other folks, the offense and the special teams. So right now, you're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show on Eagle Sports.
Have you eaten at Summit Grill? Well, then tomorrow is your day to enjoy some biscuits in the morning. And for lunch, grab the blue plate with 3 sides and a drink. What? You want hand-breaded fresh chicken? Summit Grill has it. Let's say you want to feed the whole crew. Large orders are no problem. Chicken with bone-in or chicken tenders, Summit Grill's got you covered. 2 locations on West Point Road next to Pegasus Parkway in LaGrange, or on State Road in West Point, Georgia, next to Frisky Whiskey. Come eat with us at Summit Grill.
I don't know about you ladies, but I love to keep my car clean. The only problem is my schedule. I just don't have time to wash it myself. But I have found the place to go. The LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. They have great prices, and I always feel comfortable there. They do an amazing job. And if that's not enough to get you to give them a try, they also get you in and out in no time. LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. Open 8:30 to 6, Monday through Saturday. Just look for the giant gorilla at the LaGrange Car Wash.
Everywhere you look on your campus, some event is happening, and that's the way you want it. But keeping your active campus clean and looking its best isn't easy. Nonetheless, National makes it look easy. Low staff turnover and a commitment to excellence allow National to ensure your campus from top to bottom, inside and out, is always perfect and spotless. Parents and students alike give us a 4.0, and we settle for nothing less. You'll like having National on the job.
Visit us at teamnational.com to see what National can do for you.
You're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Welcome back to the Air Raid Football Show right here on Eagle Sports, our thanks again to Mayor Soul for sponsoring us and bringing us here and giving us lots of great food over the course of the past several weeks. But, Coach, we're continuing on as we talk about our seniors. Let's jump over to the offense.
Okay, before I jump into offense, I'm going to go ahead and touch on a coach. And this young man, he came to LaGrange College and wanted to play football and was going to be an O-lineman. And now, for a lot of people out there, these coaches, these guys that decide to flip over and be student assistants, it increases their opportunities to get jobs once they get done if they want to stay in the coaching profession. And so Davis Conley, has done a tremendous job. He came in as O-line guy, realized like, hey, I'm not going to be able to play, had some injuries that kind of took it away from him. But he's like, Coach, please let me be attached to the program. Let me do something and just help you out. And the first year was just a lot of grunt work. Hey, go get this bag, go get that bag, get Coach Chambers coffee, or, run over here and run errands, whatnot. But in the last year, he's kind of started to migrate towards helping with the O-line, but also into the weight room. And so he's done a tremendous job, for us, helping our guys work out. And so much so that South Carolina has taken notice of him, and he will be going to South Carolina.
How awesome is that?
To work as a intern assistant strength coordinator for them. So, obviously we're really proud there that, here's a young man that stuck with us and has helped us for the last 2 years and has done a great job, and now he's going to be, going up there to Columbia to work for Coach Muschamp.
That's awesome. You were talking with Coach Lee Richter with the golf program earlier and about how the weight program is something that has to continue year long for a football program, and you've got to have great guys that are doing that.
Yeah, it is, and I think if there's one thing we can take from this tough season for us, we were really close in a lot of games, but we got pushed around a lot, and so. I talked to the young men today, this afternoon. I said, guys, we got to get stronger. And the dedication has to come. It has to start with me, and it has to be pushed down from, whoever we decide the strength coach is going to be. And realistically, the dedication from the young men to stay in the weight room and get it done. Yeah, especially in the offseason where there's so many other distractions, some of the things that are pulling them, that they continue to stay focused on that. So, all right, let's jump over to the offensive side. Okay, the offensive side, a lengthy list. So, the first one, and production starts up front. So I'm going to talk about our senior offensive lineman. And Phil Manning has just, he's been such a great kid. And he came in as a freshman. I never thought he would ever play. He was undersized. He was probably a 6 foot, 6'1", about 230 pounds. And I thought, man, you're just going to get pushed around. But great attitude. With everything he's done, and he's really worked hard in all the off seasons, and he ended up being a 2-year guy for us, and we really appreciate what he's done and what he brought to our offensive line. Well, and that is the anchor of what happens as your offensive lineman. You got a couple other guys to talk about as well. Yeah. So moving on, Marcellus Jackson, needs very little introductions to most people in the football world. For us, has caught a lot of balls. He leads LaGrange College career-wise in touchdowns at, I believe, 27 or 28 now. And he also leads LaGrange College football in yards per reception. So, here's a guy that has stayed truly dedicated to what he does. Started as a freshman. He's been an all-conference guy. He just got selected to go play in a bowl game, which is going to be in Daytona somewhere in the middle of December. And so he'll be playing with D1 guys, D2 guys, and D3 guys. So that's a great opportunity for him to go down there and show his talent to some of the NFL scouts. Get seen. And again, some of the most spectacular catches over the past several years, too. He just seems to find a way to bring a ball down, even if it looks like nobody's going to catch it. Yeah, when the ball's in his hands, he's electrifying. He knows how to get loose, and once he's loose, he's not a guy that's easy to track down. Moving on to the other side of the receiving core is Irvin Zoji. And Oji's a guy that played in our offense in high school, and I recruited out of Pierce County. He's done a great job for us, and he leads the team in receptions. Yeah. So, all these guys, they lead us in some way or form or fashion. So, and all these guys have set records that will probably never be broken just because they've done it for 4 years. But a lot of consistency with those guys, in both of those guys. And also what's neat, too, in watching them over the 4 years is how they're always high up there, but sometimes I think Irvin's last year had a remarkable season. This year kind of down a little bit. Marcellus really rose up this year, so their production changes a little bit, but they stay consistent at the top. Yeah, and that's the beauty of the offense. We're spreading it around, so it doesn't give the defense that great. They can't just say, okay, let's take one guy out of the mix. I mean, if they try to do that, they're going to leave the two others wide open. So these guys have really played well off each other. We're definitely going to miss them. Moving on to another one in the slot is Joshua Hardrick. He's probably one of the best route runners, I've seen at this level. Definitely one of the best in the conference. Has caught a lot of balls. We moved him from the outside after his freshman year to the inside, and he's really thrived on the inside and done a great job for us.
Not a big guy, but just a great possession receiver. When you need that 5 yards, that 6-yard route, he's going to be there, and he's going to make sure he catches the ball.
Sure-handed, not very fast, but, boy, he can really put a move on you and has scored a lot of touchdowns. All these guys have. Moving on to another wide receiver spot is Patrick Gooden.
Yep.
Patrick, I told his parents a couple weeks ago, I said, you know what, when Patrick first came to us 4 years ago, I said, you know what, this kid will never play for me, but I wish I had 100 like him, because he's just a great attitude, great work ethic, and has done everything right. And, to Patrick's tribute, I didn't think he'd play for us after the first year, and he ended up playing all 3.
Yep.
So he's done a great job. My hat's off to him. I've loved getting to coach him, and he's done a great job in the punting aspect for us too.
Well, really, that's what he was his first year with us, his almost pure punting, and then he's really risen in those in the wide receiver area.
Right. Another receiver that came to us just this past year for his senior year was Marquise Levitt. He's a Tampa native, has a cute little daughter. I think she's 6 or 7 years old, and he's really kind of dedicated his 1 year of playing to her. And he's done a great job. He's had a really rough life, and he's had a lot of things that have been tough for him, and he's overcome a lot of adversity to get to where he was when he came here, and I gave him an opportunity, and he really did a good job with it.
That's awesome. Let's take another break. We come back, we'll hit the special teams and talk about what's coming up next, actually later this week, but right now you're listening to the Bet Mummy Air Raid Football Show on Eagle Sports.
Great dining starts at Mare Sol on Main Street in LaGrange. Open Monday through Saturday for lunch and dinner. Locally owned and operated by Charles and Chase Hudson, who have created a fun atmosphere with delicious food for you and your family. So no matter if you're out with friends and want to visit at the bar or sit down for a family meal, Mare Sol is here for you. Mare Sol, Main Street, LaGrange, on Facebook and on the web at maresolrestaurant.com. When you choose a dentist, you want to know that you made the right decision. So where do you start? Go to BellDentalCenter.com. That's the right way to begin to know Dr. Bell and his staff. And then drop in at 106 Corporate Plaza Drive in LaGrange and visit with the staff. And you'll know that this is the right place for you and your family. Bell Dental Center offers comprehensive dentistry with an emphasis on aesthetics, restorative treatments, mini dental implants, root canal therapy, sedation dentistry, as well as Botox and Juvederm treatments. Bell Dental Center. Visit their website at BellDentalCenter.com.
Students at LaGrange College travel to places like London, Tokyo, and the jungles of Costa Rica through our Study Away commitment. First-year freshmen are provided a voucher worth up to $2,500 for an off-campus travel experience their junior or senior year. Attend college close to home and still see the world at LaGrange College. Learn more at lagrange.edu/transform.
Now back to the Matt Mummy Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mummy.
Welcome back to the Matt Mummy Air Raid Football Show live here from Mare Sol. Having a great time talking about these seniors, coach, and the unsung heroes of the special teams. Let's talk. We talked about Patrick. I guess he can go both ways there. But talk about some of these other guys.
We still got 3 more on offense. These are guys, just mainly offensive guys. But Patrick was pretty much our only special teams guy to really note on. But Lavelle Meeks is the next receiver that, and I know everybody's going to be like, man, your whole receiving core is gone. What are you going to do? Lavelle Meeks.
You had some freshmen that showed up, too, this season.
Lavelle's another transfer guy that came in a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and now he's been great. Last year he had, probably not the season he wanted being his first year into the offense, but this year just really exploded onto the scene, has caught a lot of balls. And I think he's number 2 in the conference in touchdowns right now with 7 or 8. So, he's right there. And Lavelle's another one like Marcellus. He's actually been invited to 2 bowl games. So he will be going to Myrtle Beach on December 2nd to play in the D3 Bowl, which the NFL scouts will be there to see him. And then also he'll play in the bowl game with Marcellus down in Florida in Daytona, more closer to the December 14th timeframe. So Lavelle's been a lot of fun to have around. He's another guy that's very energetic. He does a great job. He's very enthusiastic with the other players, and he's a young man that's from St. Louis, a really rough part of St. Louis, and comes from a background where they don't have a lot, and he actually wants to be a coach. And so he's probably going to be one of these guys where he's going to go play in these bowl games, and he's going to come back and be a student assistant for us for a year, and then he's probably going to work on getting his master's and going into the coaching profession.
Well, that's awesome that he also realizes that, education is such a powerful way to move forward in your life.
Okay. In the backfield, Jamarcus Holmes, been great for 3 years. Really loved having this young man around. He's given us a solid backfield and a guy that we know we can trust to hand the ball off to, and then also make plays in the passing game too. So, we'll miss Jamarcus for sure moving forward. And then also in the backfield was Lord Smith, and Lord came in with Marcellus, and Marcellus and Lord were actually transfers in their freshman year from Georgia State. And so those guys came to us, and Lord is one of these young men that's balancing nursing and football right now. So he's actually doing, clinicals and all that stuff on Thursday and Friday mornings and wants to go into the nursing profession.
And he's been really a talented back out of the backfield. He's faced a little bit of injury along the way, but hasn't deterred him from being somebody that has made a big stamp on his time at LaGrange College. We're going to take one more quick break. When we come back, we're going to close things out from Air Soul right here on Eagle Sports.
Calling all area coaches. Calling all area coaches, high school coaches, travel ball coaches, and more. Mud Creek Team Sales is now selling sporting goods like Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell for travel teams, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and more. For more information, call Mud Creek Team Sales today at 706-884-5592. Call Coach Jeter or Greg Hicks. Calling all area coaches. Mud Creek Team Sales with all your sporting goods. Wilson, DeMarini, Louisville Slugger, Rollins, and Russell. Mud Creek Team Sales, a proud sponsor of today's game.
Have you eaten at Summit Grill? Well, then tomorrow is your day to enjoy some biscuits in the morning. And for lunch, grab the blue plate with 3 sides and a drink. What? You want hand-breaded fresh chicken? Summit Grill has it. Let's say you want to feed the whole crew. Large orders are no problem. Chicken with bone-in or chicken tenders, Summit Grill's got you covered. 2 locations on West Point Road next to Pegasus Parkway in LaGrange, or on State Road in West Point, Georgia next to Frisky Whiskey. Come eat with us at Summit Grill.
I don't know about you ladies, but I love to keep my car clean. The only problem is my schedule. I just don't have time to wash it myself. But I have found the place to go. The LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. They have great prices, and I always feel comfortable there. They do an amazing job. And if that's not enough to get you to give them a try, they also get you in and out in no time. LaGrange Car Wash on Vernon Street in LaGrange. Open 8:30 to 6, Monday through Saturday. Just look for the giant gorilla at the LaGrange Car Wash.
You're listening to the Matt Mumme Air Raid with Jack Mormon and LaGrange College head coach Matt Mumme.
Welcome back to the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show live here on Eagle Sports, and we're getting ready to kind of close things out really for the season for our show, Coach. We've had a great time talking about LaGrange College football all season long, but we got one more game coming up this Saturday. It'll be our senior day. We'll have the folks from the band, the cheerleaders, all the folks that support the school, but of course your players as well. We've talked about them, but it's going to be a big game to close out the season against Methodist.
Yeah, we'll get to honor these guys, and I think there's 3 young ladies on the cheerleading squad that we're going to honor, and then I think, this will be the first time that we're going to honor 2 from the band. That's also cool. So that's a big deal for Josh, I'm sure, to have a couple of seniors, and I'm sure he's going to be hopeful for upcoming years to have larger groups of seniors. But like I said earlier, these guys, all 17 of them, they're going to be really missed. And so I talked to the team today about guys having to step up and fill their shoes. And we do. We have a lot of talented young men that are coming right behind these guys, and so hopefully they'll take the reins and move forward.
Well, they've been great examples for everyone else to follow, and we're looking forward to seeing what's going to be happening, of course, this week, but then into the seasons to come. Well, Coach, once again, thank you again. We've had a great time this season on the Matt Mumme Air Raid Football Show, and we thank everyone for tuning in each Monday night. We look forward to bringing it back to you again next year, but again, this Saturday, 1 o'clock is our kickoff. Come out there, be a big part of a huge crowd for the final game of the season. Anything else you want to add there, Coach, to send us out?
Yeah, Jack, I just appreciate you, and also I appreciate Coleman Vice for all the hard work that he does to bring all this stuff over here and set it up at Marisol's for us. But it's been great, and I've really enjoyed our partnership over the last 3 years.
All right, we'll hope to continue that as we move to the future. Again, our thanks to everyone that's put us on the air tonight, and we'll see you next season on the radio.